Hello, my beautiful crafty friends. It's Laurette, the vintage paper girl. Welcome to my studio. I'm very happy you're here with me today. I wanted to do the project we weren't able to do on our last Stack Your Stash. You could stack a stash with this one or just make a few, to use in your upcoming journals. Probably you'll end up stacking it, but I'm not going to call it a Stack Your Stash because people are going to get sick of that. So anyway, I thought before we got going, how are all of you? How are you feeling? What are you up to? Is everybody healthy? I hope you're all safe and your weather is decent. I'm still filming on the same day as the last day I filmed on, so it's cruddy today. Overcast, rainy, windy, cold, just you name it, we got it. So not a really fun day today. It's just, what we got. So anyway, it's kind of dark. Hopefully we won't have to turn on the lights, but we might if it keeps getting darker and darker. It was sunny like 10 seconds ago. Of course, I got ready to start the video and whammo, no more sun. So anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome to all my brand new subscribers. Those of you who are here the first time, as well as those of you who hugs and kisses for all my girls and guys, my pals, my buddies, my posse. I'm welcome to all of you, and thank you for coming back and watching and commenting and giving me thumbs up. You guys are fabulous. You keep my channel going. Every interaction you have with me and each other is what keeps this thing rolling. So thank you, thank you. Anyway, let's get busy. Don't want to waste any more time. In our last one, we did these guest checks and then these little triangle, which this video was a hot mess at the end. The first part was great, but the end was sort of a mess. I apologize. I was exhausted. I should not be doing videos right now, but I really want to craft. And, I didn't want you guys to go without your Stack Your Stash. So I decided to do the video anyway, and it was kind of a mess. So basically it was a fold over, you glue down, you got a pocket. It had a little triangle on the front. You just fold it, make a triangle, cut it to fit, glue it on. Okay. And then I had it where you could, this is one of those, you could flip it up and right in here. And then you have a pocket. So I did decorate one up so you could see what they look like decorated. You could glue this down on 3 sides. This is open for a pocket. So you write, you have a pocket here. You have this pocket here. You have room on this little journaling card. So it's really quite a fun little Stack Your Stash. So that's this one. This one I ended up gluing down because I didn't like the mess it was in. So basically we just have a pocket over here. Okay, so you can do it a bunch of different ways, however you want. Then this was the other one we did. I did add a little more to the tag. I had a little label and grungied up the string a bit. It was a little too white for me. And then you open it up and I put another young lady in here. I put some paper over here and a little tab here. I could cover the back, but I think it's fine the way it is. So, and I'll show you why I think it's fine the way it is. Because when I use this paper, it's white here. Yes, you can write on it. Let's get a pen. Let's put love. This one's okay, but it kind of smears on this side. If you flip it over, it writes beautifully on that. So you really don't need to cover this paper that I use. I'm really excited to buy it, so you don't need to do anything with that. So I just wanted to show you that, you could, that was just junk paper from a printer box. So those were the two. We got them all done. They match our Stack Your Stash pieces. So I'm going to pull those off my desk and go throw them in my box, right? So those are ready to go. And guess what? That box is full. I got to start another one. Oh my goodness. Here we go. More boxes. I don't know where I'm going to keep these. I'm going to have to get a big box to put them in. I need a bigger box, like a shoe box or something, or some kind of box. I'll find something, right? Okay, so we're going to do, this is going to be junk mail envelopes that we're going to do today. And this is a page flip pocket. I think you'll like it. So hopefully, and I just got some envelopes in a couple sizes. And I made sure I got the ones that were white inside. I tried to get rid of the ones that had the safety envelope. I didn't want one of those. So I have 2 sizes. I picked a smaller one and a larger one, depending upon the size of the journal that you're doing. And I've got some scrapbook paper, some old music paper. I have digitals. I have some old book page. I've got some 1988 dictionary and some other goodies. So that's what I've got to work with today. So you can use any of these papers, of course, styles of papers, depends what you want to do. And let's get moving. All right. What are you guys up to? Anything fun? You making any fun projects? Going anywhere? Weddings? Anything fun? It's kind of February, Valentine's Day. It's coming next week. Oh my goodness. So now, first thing you want to do is decide what size journals do you like to make so you'll know what your stash is going to be. I make a variety of sizes. I make all the way up to a 12-inch tall journal. 10 to 11 is usually what they are. This one is 9.5. So actually, if I'm not putting it into a regular journal, this is a great size. I don't need to take anything off. But most people would probably want 7 3/4. So we could and would just cut off a little bit of, let's try this. Ooh, this one's got a lot of writing. I don't know if I want to use that one. I don't think I do. It's got too much on the back. I usually try to avoid those for this type of project. Let me pick one that's not got so much writing all over it. Let's try that one. Yeah, that one's got a lot of writing on that one too. Huh. Good for some things, not everything, right? So you want to make sure that it has a flap. We do need a flap of some kind, and it needs to be in good shape. So you don't want one that's all damaged from being open. Like this has writing on the back too. I'm just kind of looking to see what I have for shapes in the back. Not a lot of them are that have the pointy shape. Nowadays, they're all the straight across shape. Yeah, there's not a lot. Ah, here's one. So we'll do those two. We'll start with those. Maybe 3 if we're really lucky, okay? So there we are. Let's start with those. All right, where did my rubber band go? All right, let me put that on there so I don't have envelopes flying all over the desk. Now, if you're working with something that's too long and you're afraid that it's not going to fit in your journal, this one's 9.5. So what do I want to do? Do I want to cut that down to 8 maybe? Yeah, I think I will. I won't leave this as a tall journal because I really like this stamp. And, oh gosh, this doesn't go to 8. 1 minute. Back to Bertha. For those of you who are new, Bertha is my big guillotine cutter. I wanted this pretty stamp. It's really pretty. See, isn't it pretty? I wanted that. So I'm going to put that in my stamp book to be used. All right, so this is the right shape. We've got what we want. This one is, how tall is this one? Okay, this could go into one of my tall ones, so I won't cut any of these down. I'm going to keep them as they are. But what I'm going to do to all of them is I'm going to, this other side, I'm barely going to just take the bare minimum off so we're open. All right. And we're going to do that to these too because I'm not cutting length. You cut them your height first, which is what I did here. Then you cut the other end open. If you're not cutting off any height, then you just, ooh, what's the width of this one? Will this work in a tall journal? Because the tall journals are not very wide. 3 3/4. I'd be skating it with this one, but it might work. So have we cut any open yet? No. So let's just barely cut off any end. We just want to open it up barely. Okay, make sure it's open. Okay. And let's try this one. Oh, I love this envelope. What is this one for? Stampington and Company. Oh, yes, that's the magazine, Stampington and Company. They're in Mill Creek, California, which is about Laguna Hills, California. Oh, that's south. So that's about 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours south of me. So, and here in California. But they're a California company. I used to get them all the time. Stampington. All right. So these are all open, right? So we're going 1, 2, and 3. Now, the question is, do I want to cut this off and make it even so that it is to make it easy to get into? or just leave it as is. I think it's going to be easier to cover if it's straight across. So at this point, let's try it. Now, I think it was Edith doing these at Scrapbooking with me, and I'm going to do a version of what she did. My version, of course. Yeah. You just want to make sure that, yeah, that works. Okay, just barely cut it off, though. Don't overcut, or we're going to have a problem. Come on, you get in there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I know you can get in there. I'm fighting with this a little bit, guys. Don't mind me. Okay, I cut off the uneven to make it as straight as I could. One more. There we go. All right. Yep, that's going to make it easier. Your pocket still covers, but it really doesn't matter, and I'll show you why in a minute. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to get out a little glue mat. Sorry, I'm wiggling around in my chair here. All right. What do I want to cover this with? I think I'll do one for sure. My tallest one. Let me see what's my tallest one. Well, these two. I'm going to do these with scrapbook paper, and I'm going to cover them. And that's not going to be big enough. I need a bigger mat. Here we go. Nice big mat to cover with. Excuse me. I'm going to put this on the floor because it's kind of in my way. Now, before I do this, I want to use some florals for spring. So I want to make sure that the flowers I have cut out are going to look good with the papers that I pick. Yeah, I think that one would look okay with it, maybe, or that one. I think that would be okay. So either one of those would be okay with that paper. I just want to be sure before I go cutting it and gluing it. All right, so we are going to want to wrap this around the edge of a journal. So we're going to want this to be our front. So you want to pick out your design so it fits it correctly. Okay, I got it. Now, what we're going to do, you can use a Fabri-Tac or a glue stick or Barely Arts, whatever you like. And you're going to go down here. This isn't a super thin, it's thin, but it's not super thin scrapbook paper. So I think it'll be okay to use the glue sticks. The glue sticks have a bit of water in them, which do cause a bit of rippling. This one's not supposed to. And the new ones I've ordered hopefully will not either. Be sure you get enough on the folds, because that is where you're going to get your like pocketing or whatever you have. And then I'm going to just place this on there. Oh, wait a minute. Let me move this. Oh, it's full of glue. Okay, this is the front. I'm going to put it close to the edge as I can get it. Now, if you have bits that are not glued down on your envelope, you don't want to rip those off. You want to keep them because you need to keep it strong. You don't want them to get thin there. So get those glued down. I do like my longer. Okay, and this is how I've taught you to do many times, is just glue the whole thing on, right? All right, so that's our first one. Now I'll do one and then we'll glue the other two on and then we'll come back and cut them out. So we'll cut this one out just right now. I was going to leave it, but I think we'll go ahead and cut it. Be sure you keep your shape of your envelope. You want to keep that pretty little bit. Try not to use a straight across envelope because I think you might find it's not what you want. Oh dear. Okay, so I must have got that crooked. I'm going to have to trim that up. Okay, now I'm going to let that dry because we have seams there. If you use the warmth of your hands and you rub it over your glued envelope, if your hands are warm, they're not cold, just kind of do that and let it dry a bit. I'm going to move that paper. Now I'm going to pick out two other prints. Hopefully I've got that. Yep, I got that right. I'm going to pick out two other prints that I think would look good with those flowers. So let me see. What did I do with my flowers? Here we are. I thought maybe that one with the green one. This has got some peachy. Oof, I don't know. Maybe this one. Maybe. Let's see what else I got in here. That's pretty. That's pretty. Oh, that's really pretty with that. Okay, so that's a good one with that. Now, they all have some blue in them, so I could do a blue maybe. I could do that. Kind of like that. Sort of like this because it's got some of the same kind of tealy color in there. All right, we're getting a lot of green in here, aren't we? Anything that's more pink or burgundy that I think would look good? I really like it with that. Okay, I'll do these. We'll come back to these in a minute. Now, I could cover one of these instead of doing a printed paper. I could cover it if you don't have scrapbook paper. You could use one of your digitals. Let me check out my digitals and see if there's one I want to, oh yes, and not do those flowers, do something else, right? So maybe we could do, just want to make sure it'll fit before I say it. Is that big enough? Yeah, it's big enough. Okay. We could do that. So, yeah, it's open. That would be pretty on there. And then that would be a flower on there, and we would use a different image on that. So I got those. This is Uniquely Ella. And, or we could do, the other thing you could do is use a piece of music paper. So we'll see how much time we have. Let me check my time. I forgot to look when I started. Oh, we're only 18 minutes in. Okay, we might have time to do a music page one too. We'll see. All right, so we kind of know what we want to do there. That one's going to that one. We think that this would look real pretty with that one. I'm not going to use this one because it is going to be covered with something that's already got. Sorry, guys, I'm not finishing my sentences because I'm still exhausted. I've gotten too tired with the shop, so hopefully I will catch up soon on my rest. It's just I'm not sleeping at night. It's not that I work hard all day. It's just I work hard all day and I'm not sleeping at night, so I'm exhausted. So I want to, okay. Let me grab my glue board. I'd like to glue these on. These are fun because it's like an all-in-one. I know a lot of people, you could collage this. You could put it in 3 sections. you could collage, you could do whatever you like, right? This is how I like to do it because I'm going to decorate it with other things. I didn't want to collage. I didn't want it to be overly busy for me, but everybody likes their stuff different. I'm putting that hard on the top of my arm because it's getting in the glue. All right. So is that finger I just glued there. Now, yep, there we go. I'm gonna put this in here. See if I can get it right to the very edge. It's one thing to cut off excess, but you don't want to be short. You know what I mean? Short your short paper. Okay, I see some itchy eyes here. All the wind. Oh my gosh. I don't know what is blowing around out there, but everything. Like every tree that had some leaves that were dying are naked now. We have naked trees everywhere. Because we're in California, we don't have the leaf fall like you guys do. So a lot of our trees still had leaves or pine needles or pine cones. Well, all that stuff has fallen off the tree. The ground is a mess. There is garbage flying around everywhere. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry for a minute. And I'm sorry guys, hold on a minute. My eyes are itching, both my eyes itch like crazy right now. Oh, gonna have to get some Benadryl after this. Jeez. All right, so now we've got this little guy. And we're gonna cover this one like that because I gotta look to see where it's gonna fold. Am I gonna get my roses in there? Yeah, I am. Okay. Is that still sticky? I keep checking it. If it's sticky, then I won't use it. I'll get another board. Okay, I'm gonna put that like that. Don't move. I'm gonna do this like this. I don't want to put it on the wrong side, right? Now, I don't care that there's a pocket here. I'm going to cover up that pocket. I don't want it, and I don't need it, and I'm not going to use it. So just make sure that you get your fold lines very, very covered in glue, whatever glue you're using. Like I said in another video, I can't get this glue anymore. I'm so frustrated, but I can't get any of the Scotch glues. No one can. For some reason, they pulled them off the market. I don't know what happened, but you know. So I'm trying Amazon recommended Avery glue. Everyone keeps telling me, oh, go to Joann's. I don't have a Joann's, guys. I don't have any stores. I have no stores. I live in a little rural town in a ag town. And it's also a bedroom community, meaning people come here, buy their homes here, and they work in the big city, but they commute home 2 hours every night to live here. So, yeah, we don't have any shops. We used to have 4 quilt shops at one time. We have very little anything here. We have a Dollar Tree and for craft supplies, and that's about it. So we just got a Ross and a TJ Maxx, which they carry a little bit of stuff, but not much. So, you know, I have to go a long way. And to ship from Joann's or Michael's, they do a terrible job. Every box is open, squished, or damaged, and half the stuff is missing. They leave half the stuff out of the orders. So I just won't order from them online. I won't order from Hobby Lobby either. Really, my only option is Amazon, and right now they have little to no glue sticks at all. I don't know what happened. I don't know if we just went crazy and bought them out and now they just don't have any, or Scotch. I think Scotch Scotch glue is, they have plenty of the school glue, but it is full of water and it'll ripple your projects really, really bad. And it may not work on anything other than paper. When I read the back of the package, it says that it just works on paper, period. So we couldn't use it on fabric or any of the other things that I use my glue stick on. So, yeah, that's a little problem. Now I'm just going around the envelope and cutting it out. And if I have a straight edge over here, I will let it go, and then in a minute, I'll show you how I fix that. I got a little extra paper, which is fine. As long as we're not short paper, we're good. Whoops, we're a little short over here. Darn it, I did it again. I might have to put that on the paper cutter to straighten it out. Okay. I'm throwing paper on the floor. I have room on my desk. All right, now, I don't want my top to look like that. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to match it up, and I'm going to cut it to match. I hope that's going to work. It did. All right. I don't really want the point at the top. We'll just slightly round that. Okay, now I have made the envelope match. I hope you saw what I did, because I can't do it again. I just folded it over and got the shape that I wanted and made it match, right? All right, now, we are still gluing, unfortunately. They're still wet, so let's give that a minute to dry. I think we're done with that. So this one now is dry. So you can see, I can see where my original folds are, and I can fold them on my fold lines. Make sure you don't mess up there. Okay, and you do want to go ahead and fold this before we do anything else, and I'll tell you why in a minute. I don't know why that's off over here. I'm going to say it's because I didn't cut it right. Give me a minute to fix this. There, that's better. That's better. All right, now what we're going to do is, if you're using an envelope that has security window or security lining, you're not going to want to see that. You might not want to see this white either. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cover some of that up. So let me grab something, anything. It can be book page, dictionary page, it can be music page, it can be journal, it could be, hold on, my rear's in the air here. Just give me a minute. I threw all this on the floor. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me get... Apologize for not finishing my words. I'm really, really struggling here. I was not going to do any videos for you this week, and I just really didn't want to do that to you. So, because I know some of you are waiting and are, you know, you depend on the videos for company, and I depend on you too. So it's like, all right, well, I'll get them done. Just forgive me. Just forgive me. I'm not usually this scattered, nor am I usually this tart. I'm hoping that by next week, I will be back to my usual spunky self with all my brain, well, as many brain cells as I can get. So, what we want to do is we want to cover that up. So I was thinking something that had a little writing on it could go right here. Nope, that's the front. Okay, so I want to put it right there. I only need a small strip. That one goes with that one. What do I need for this one? Would I want this with that, or do I want something else? I don't think I like that. I don't like that with that either. Let me find something else to go in there. I don't care for either one of those. I pulled those out for that, but then, you know, you take them out and you go, oh, I don't really like that. I do kind of have this pink one. Oh, and I have this one that has a little bit of newsprint on it. I think both of those might be okay. Good thing I cleaned the counter off behind me. I'm really proud of myself. I got my studio all cleaned up. Oh, what a mess. Okay, so let's put, when we fold this up, which I think it's dry enough now, we can do it. And then, where's my envelope flap? Oh, there it is, way up there. Okay. I'm thinking that could go in there. So you would see that next to that. It's kind of the same color, it blends in. So does that. Does this go with this? Yeah, I could put that with that. It's got writing, that would be okay inside. So let me cut a couple strips. I'll be right back. Because as you know, this will not fit in my little paper cutters, and I don't want to bring Bertha over to the desk. Just no room. Oh my gosh, it's raining again. Lordy. I'm going to cut about 3.5 inches. I think that will give me what I need. I'm getting some nice scrapbooking scraps. All right. Hopefully this one's dry too. I can't find the, well, there's my lines. They're there. You just got to really look for them. Oh, that's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. I'm having trouble seeing my lines. They're there. I just am having trouble finding them. Yeah, I got them. They're there. Now, if you're not glued, which with glue stick, you know, I didn't get to the edges very well. I know I didn't. I'm just going to put some art glitter glue in there. Seal them up. Good. All right, we got them. Now, let me get a journal and I'll show you what this is all about. You're probably wondering, what in the world are you doing? Well, what we want to do is we want a page. We're going to seal this and this. This is going to be our pocket here. So this bit here, the envelope flap, is going to go over. You're going to just do the edges and it becomes a tuck on the back side. See, isn't that pretty? Don't you love it? I do. I mean, you know, but that's my style, right? So whatever, you can make it grungy. You could do whatever you want. I mean, whatever your style is. So I just think this is the prettiest thing. It's kind of, and you're never going to see this side because it's glued down. So you do not have to cover it. You don't have to do anything with it. Now, before we add our paper, well, let's add our paper first. Let's do that. So I want to make sure, okay, so I want this to be a flip out this way. So that is going to determine where which way my writing goes. I want my writing to go this way. Now I could have made it go the other way, but whatever, I didn't. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to cut this down again, so I think I'll just rip it down. And there we go. And I'm going to glue that on the inside. And I'm going to go right up to the edge on purpose, right? So, what did I do with my glue? Oh, there it is. I'm going to cover, oh, no, that's not the glue I want. Let me use this one. this other one away. It's kind of goopy. I don't know what's going on with that other glue stick. But this one's not as wet. Sorry, I don't have any stories for you today. Our whole life has been working, and we're enjoying each other's company, my daughter and I, having a great time together, honestly. Oh, I haven't seen her today, which is the first time in like 3 weeks I haven't seen her. No, we haven't seen each other on the weekends. We've been taking the weekends off of each other. We're still working on the business, but not together. But we've been working side by side and seeing each other every day. So, oh man, I didn't get that down far enough on one side and too far on the other. Be careful. All right. So what I recommend then when you do that is if you're someone who inks, this is a good place to ink, a good time to ink. Now this shows over here, which I do not want to show, so that's going to come off. Oh, I adore this paper. It's so beautiful. Marlene, you did a stunning job on these papers. I don't know if you're watching today. I'll have to let you know. I'm using your paper today. I feel like I've got ripples and openings and not getting a good glue up here. Watch your flap. Yeah, I didn't do a good job up there. And that flap was thin anyway, from being opened. You can use brand new envelopes if you want, if you don't have junk mail envelopes. But if you're like me and you have a billion, we're not online folks. We do everything old school. We still write checks for our bills. So, well, mainly because someone got a hold of our accounts and cleaned them out. And yeah, the bank made it all good, but I don't ever want that to happen again. So I took everything offline. My sister had her accounts cleaned out by the tune of hundreds of thousands. And so I'm taking a page out of her book and nope. So not doing it. Okay, so what I want to do now is this is a good time to ink, like the inside before you do your gluing, right? Before you glue. If you're going to ink, this is when you want to do it, right? Okay. You know what I also like for this whole thing is I like to use the whale tail at the top sometimes. It makes a little bit wider, different looking circle. And that's the reason I made this so deep, is so that when you put this on, you don't see inside the envelope. Now, you could have left your envelope as it was. I just decided not to. I decided to cut it straight off. I like that because it gives me more room to get things in and out of my pocket. It's a flip pocket, journal page flip pocket. All right, now this is where finally we are ready, I believe. Hopefully I haven't messed up, and we cover this up. And there you go. So you don't worry about this. Remember I said that this is going to lay down. Now, if you feel like it's too thin, you could put a piece of paper on here. If you want to make it thicker, by all means, cover it if it makes you feel better. It's totally up to you. You can do that. So you're just going to, because this is going to go like this in your journal. And this is a time where you would trim anything that's kind of too long, or you missed, or didn't glue right, or whatever. Where's my, oh, there we go. I don't know why I'm having issues right here. Oh, because it came unglued. go. Cute. You have your pocket. And then you go like this. So you would have it. It would flip out. You would put your card in here. Close it like this. You go over here. And you would glue it down on each end. And you would have, if you glue it down, you have a tuck spot here. And then you go like this. And you can put your, so we would decorate this. And we would decorate this, right? So we would decorate it all. You don't have to put a thumb notch at all if you don't want to. Wow, man, the wind just stripped my trees. Holy cow. Okay, so this one's ready to go. We'll decorate that after, if we have time, because I wanted to get the base done. Let me check my time, guys, see where I'm at. Oh, we're at 40 already. Okay. Sorry, I had to get some soda. I'm lagging. Alrighty, now we're going to do the same thing to these other pieces. We're going to glue this one on here. I'm going to do a little better job than I did last time, hopefully. Like I said, it doesn't need to be this wide. I just got carried away. What lovely pieces. I can use those for something, right? Let me move this. We're not using this right now. I could have put, I could have easily, used book page in there, or I could use dictionary page in there, or music page in there, right? I could have used music page. I have this really old music book that my daughter and I picked up when we were out shopping and thrift storing, and we got two of them that were like 1902. So we got some really old, and I could have put that in there as well. So, just whatever you want to put in there. I just decided I'm going to keep it all scrapbooking paper for right now. Yeah, it seems like a waste, but then when you cut your bit there, I could cut it thinner and not waste so much. Do I want to do that? Well, let's do this and see how far down. Maybe I'll trim it a little. Let me see. How far down are we going to go? Are we going to see? Maybe I can cut that in half and use it for another piece. Yeah, I could do that, couldn't I? I really don't need it that deep. Okay, hold on a minute. Oh, well, maybe it'll work on my little cutter. Is it going to work on my little cutter? Barely. Oh, gosh, just almost not. Almost not. Okay. Hopefully I didn't just cut it too short. I've done that before thinking, oh, I'm going to save paper, and I messed myself. No, that worked. Messed myself up pretty bad. So let's not do that. So let's get sleeves up. Let's get serious here. We haven't been doing anything. My husband's been picking up my granddaughters from school. My youngest granddaughter was just in a flag girl competition. They're a band, and they have flags that they throw in the air and twirl and do all that fun stuff. And she was just in a competition, and they took, for their division, they took second place, which is awesome. They're 7th and 8th graders for the junior high, and they went into a national, state area competition. I don't know how big the competition was. Pretty good size competition. Regional competition. And they took second in their division, which is just awesome. It's their first time for 99% of the girls. There's only a couple of 8th graders. The others are 7th graders. So the 7th graders will be in the 8th grade next year. And they're working with the high school for their competition. This is Lizzie. She's one of my middle granddaughters. She's the 12-year-old. But she's taller than her mom and I, and her older sister. She's taller than any of us. So she's tall and lanky and gorgeous. She could be a model. She's just perfect for that. And she has a really good sense of style. She's just adorable. So anyway, she had her competition. They've been practicing every day till 5:30, 6 o'clock after school. As soon as they're out of school, they go practice until almost 6 every day. My daughter picks up, and someone else picks them up from the school and takes them to the practice. And then my daughter picks all the girls up after and drops them off at home. So between that, my husband's been picking up my oldest, the 17-year-old granddaughter from high school, so we could keep working every afternoon. He's been just fabulous with that. He's great with his granddaughters. He loves them so much. They are his girls. He has all girls. They don't have their dad anymore. They only have my husband. So he's kind of stepping in to the dad-grandpa role. He is the grandpa, but he's stepping into the other role to pick them up and take care of them and look after them when we're busy. So that's pretty cool. He worked so much, he didn't really have time to take care of his own kids when they were little or growing up, or really not till high school was he able to get some work more locally to where he could go to my son's events, but he really didn't have time for my daughter. So he missed out a lot, and so he's making up for it now. I did all the raising. Everybody thought I was a single mom. No one knew I had a husband. I used to get hit on and asked out all the time, and I'm like, oh no, I'm married. And they're like, what? We've never seen your husband. We don't believe you. So then I had to start taking my husband with me to things. Like to pick up kids from a party or something so they could see my husband. They went, oh, there is a husband. Yeah, I swear. I wasn't making it up. There's a husband. Funny, funny. I know. So, anyway. She's really been real all busy with that, you know. And then we had the girls come over and have dinner with their grandpa for his birthday at the end of the month. We had a cake and ice cream. Well, it was an ice cream pie, and we opened presents, and we had dinner. We had pizza together, and that was very fun. And so we did that. It's nice to spend time with them. You know, they're going through such a difficult time right now. So the closer they are to us, the better. You know, the more often they're with us and with everybody together, the better, right? So keeping them under wings. Keeping them under our wing. My granddaughter's having to pick out, my oldest granddaughter, my very oldest, my number one girl, had to pick her classes for her senior year, and she only needs 2 more units, and so they're like, she doesn't need all the classes, so they're trying to figure out what to give her or put her on work experience or an internship in her industry. So we'll see what happens so this one's ready to go. Isn't that great? Does that look great in there? I love that. So she's couldn't get her classes, so my neighbor, who is also a counselor at the high school, went to bat for her and helped her get the classes that she needed. She doesn't need a lot. That's the thing. So I think I only need like a half of that. I'm going to cut that in half, guys. I'll be right back. She wants to go into animation, and so she's working on that, and so she's on the art track in the high school. She's on the, not on the college track. She's on what they call a tech school track. So she really had to work hard to get her courses. So it's been a battle for my daughter to get her where they need to go. I'm thinking I might just do this one. No. This one has the green in it, even though I don't need all of that. I only need this little strip. I don't know what to do. I guess I can do that. So let me think for a minute. I'll stop talking for just a minute while I work on this. Figure this out. I don't want to cut it. Whoops, where's my ruler? Oh, I want to cut this short. I want to make sure it's not too long or too short. There we go. I can see this envelope is going to need trimming all over. All right, well, let me get it glued on, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do to trim it. So anyway, she's trying to get classes that are appropriate for her, and then fill in with classes that aren't a complete and total waste of her time. So it's quite a challenge right now. I'm going to get her what she needs so that she can go to college next year. Well, after her senior year. Anyway, it's been a lot of fun, not for my daughter. She was over here working the other day, and the counselors called, and the head of, I don't know, scheduling or student something or other called and talked to my daughter and said, well, you know, she can't take these classes and that classes unless she can take all 3 years. And she said, she's done. You can't do that to them. You know, you're telling them she needs photography. She needs some of these other things, but you won't let her take it because she can't take it for 3 years. She's a senior, you know. She didn't have room before because she had to take all those other classes. So that doesn't make any sense. These kids should be grandfathered in this year. Then after that, I can understand incoming freshmen. You make them, you know, do the right thing. But so my daughter worked on her and got her to do what she needs. So I think we're okay now. I'm really proud of my granddaughter because she knows what she wants to do. And she's like, so I'm hoping she gets an internship in multimedia, which is part of her degree. So that'll be cool. Anyway, lots going on with that. So I guess there is stuff going on, just not particularly in my household, but I hear all of it. Sometimes I weigh in, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just listen. But my daughter's an awesome advocate for her girls, man. If they need something, she will do everything she can to make sure they get it. You won't be messing with my daughter, let me tell you. She will not tolerate it. She'll fix it. Especially after what the girls have been through. It's just like, give them a break, really. I mean, Samantha, and Liz should get a gold star for not missing a ton of school, not quitting, not running and hiding, but they are struggling with the loss of their dad this year. Last year, they were numb. This year, they're not. They're feeling it all. The reality of going on and creating life without their dad, they will now, every memory they make from here on out, college and high school and marriage, will be without their dad, and it's hitting them hard that he's not going to be part of it. So we're doing our best to keep Jolene home with them and make the business go and make sure they spend time with us and their friends and do activities and try to be as normal as possible. Very hard on my daughter. She's exhausted. I'm exhausted. My husband's pitching in, trying to help us because we're both so tired. But we'll get it. Once it's up and running, it'll be fine. It's just getting launched. We'll be cool. We'll be good. Then we can just be creative and fill the store with all kinds of creative goodies that we make, that we find to buy, that we think you guys would like to have. And our videos will not be all commercials, I promise. But I'll just tell you, hey, I'm working with this. If you need it, it's in the store or it's not. And here's where you can get it, whether it's with us or somebody else, right? So same as always, I will still continue. Excuse me, my nose is just itching so bad. Oh my gosh. We will continue to support the other designers who I work with and I buy their work. And I will not be doing any design teams this year. I've let everybody know I'm leaving the design teams. I've been asked to go on to a couple of new ones, but I've had to explain to them I can't. Right now, my time and energy is going to my daughter, and my grandgirls. But, I may do some guest design work off and on for everybody that I like working with their stuff. Those who I love their papers, and I have spent a lot of money on a lot of these digitals, so believe me, I am going to say who they are because, I bought them because they're fabulous. All right, there we go, you guys. Oh my goodness, aren't they pretty? Let me see what my time frame is before I decide what we do next. That's the problem. I keep trying to squeeze in stuff when there isn't time. Yeah. Well, I had all these lovely flowers, and so my goal was to put them on and add, things to them. Let's see, was that going to go on there? Yeah. That was going to go on there. That one was going to go on there. This one I will probably put maybe a lady or some ladies. I might do something, you know, on there like that, or cut a lady out. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet for that one. You know, maybe I'll put a gorgeous gal there, something like that. So that's my idea to decorate these. Then you would open it up, you know, on this side, you could put a little pocket, a little tag. You could put some lace. You could decorate it all up. You know, I don't really know what I'm going to do yet. And, you know, you could put some cards, things inside here. Isn't that great? And I have these. I thought maybe, I don't know if any of these go with anything. Could put them inside. Found these in my stash when I was cleaning up. You never know what you're going to find. It's good to clean your studio every now and then. Do some organization. Oh, I got my cabinet all loaded, so I'm really happy and thrilled with myself about that. So in our next video, I will show you these all decorated up if I can. I just don't think I'm going to try, because I think it's just going to send our, I'll double check in 1 second, but I think it's going to send our video too long. So clean up this lovely mess that we made here today. We did make a mess, didn't we? All right. Sorry, that was a little loud. Oof, goodness gracious. Great balls of fire. All right. Let me look at what we got for time. Do I have time to do one of these? 56, 57, 58, 56. No, we only got about 3 minutes. So I think I'm going to skip that. But the next time you see it, I promise they'll be all decorated up, hopefully. And you get to see what we work so hard on, is just to create these lovely pocket page foldovers, I think, or page pocket foldovers, something like that. Let me see. Again, this is the goal. So it would be, you know, on a page, all decorated up real pretty. And, you know, you would fold out, and then that would be stuck to the back like that. And I think that that's going to be real pretty. And I think this would be pretty all laced up and decorated too. So I really want to see how, you know, creative I can get with those. I think that'd be a lot of fun, you know, to see what I could do with them. So, all right, you guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned something new, and you'll put those in your upcoming journals. You can do them as a stack your stash, or just do them as a creative, fun project. So thanks for watching, everyone. I love you all. Hugs and kisses. Bye-bye.